Pushing movements during pregnancy. I am referring to pushing movements in strength training, not pushing movements as in pushing your baby out, to be very clear. We have two different types of pushing motions. We have a vertical push and we have a horizontal push. A vertical push would be something like an overhead press. A horizontal push could be a push up or a chest press, a barbell bench press, anything of that nature. Those are some that you will typically see. There are lots of others, but we're going to keep it pretty simple for the sake of this video. There's a couple of things that we want to keep in mind when it comes to pushing movements. For vertical pushing movements, we want to make sure that whether we are sitting, standing, half kneeling, tall kneeling, whatever the case may be, that as we are pressing our arm overhead, we are doing our best to keep ourselves in that stacked position. So again, stacked position just means rib cage over pelvis. We're going to exhale. Make sure we can get tension from the bottom up, ribs settling down, and then we're going to press up. We want to be able to press up without doing this. We also want to be able to press up without squeezing under like so. When you are looking at yourself doing this and watching it, one of the most important things is just to think about what you see. You don't have to get super fixated on it being perfect, but what you want to see is as you're pressing up that you're just able to stay really solid through your center and press up. Another thing that you're going to want to do is exhale. We can exhale slightly before we start the movement. So as we're getting prepped to do our press, we'll get in position, kind of get everything nice and loose, little exhale. And I typically like to keep my hand over my belly when I am doing any sort of strength training movements when I can. Of course, I've got two hands down in a push-up. I'm not going to do that. But it really can help to give you some great feedback. So if you're doing an overhead press in a position where it makes sense to put a hand on your belly, you can put a hand on your belly, little exhale, feel your belly pull away from your palm, and then as you continue to press up, you're going to continue to exhale, and you should continue to feel that belly pull away from your hand. That means that you are engaging your deep core as you are going through the hardest part of the motion. So we always think about exhale, engage. It should be that as we're exhaling, we are engaging our deep core, and we're going to do that as we are usually moving through the hardest part of an exercise. And in an overhead press, that is going to be pressing up. To give you an example of what this looks like with a kettlebell, so this is a front rack position and I am going to press it overhead. What I want to do is get a small inhale, exhale, set my deep core, I have my knees softly bent, and then from here I'm going to exhale, press up, and then I would come back down. What I'm aiming to feel as I'm pressing up is that deep core pulling away. What I don't want to see as I press up is kind of this right here as I'm pressing up, and I don't want to see that either, where I really lost that stacked position. When we're talking about horizontal pressing, a lot of the same concepts apply. I'm going to talk you through a couple of push-ups because this is something that I commonly see kind of get mixed up during pregnancy. What we want to make sure is that as we are doing a push-up, number one, you're going to choose the position that allows you to have the best form. If you need to raise your hands up some, that's fine. If you need to put your knees down, that's fine. You just choose the position that will allow you to have that really nice stacked position and really good form. So as we are doing our push-ups, little things that we can keep in mind are, number one, we want to make sure that we exhale to start with. So if we start here, it's not going to end well. It's not going to feel great, okay? So exhale. Get that deep core on to start. And we really want to be pushing through the shoulders, gentle bend in the elbows. We don't want to start with our elbows locked out and sinking into our shoulders, okay? We're going to rely on our strong muscles. We're not relying on our joints. As you go down for a push-up, you want to let your rib cage and your pelvis move as one unit. We're not going to let the pelvis come down before the rib cage or the rib cage come down before the pelvis, okay? Everything needs to move down as one unit, and then everything needs to come up up as one unit. For this movement, you're going to exhale as you are pressing out. We don't exhale as we come down. We would inhale as we come down and exhale as you press up and out. All right, that is your press foundation, and I will see you in the next video.